Put a picture on the screen for you of Mr. Valencia. He's the captain of the national team for Ecuador. He's got 38 goals. He's an all-time top scorer, holds the record for the most goals scored in the World Cup for Ecuador. Now, they've lost and moved on, Ecuador has. But Mr. Valencia committed to his home region that any income that he got for playing in the World Cup would be sent to them to help deliver them from the tragedy that they are experiencing. He comes from a corner of Ecuador up against Colombia. It's called Esmeralda. And in the country of Ecuador, they refer to it as the forgotten place. One of the 10 deadliest places on this planet. North Ecuador, Esmeralda. And that's where Valencia was birthed and raised. He came from one of the deadliest, most violent corners of the world. And now he says, I am going to use any income I get from playing on a world stage to help rescue the people, the children that are experiencing violence in the forgotten corner of Ecuador. You know, in the universe, Earth is the deadliest. And Satan and a third of the angels refer to it as the forgotten place. Might as well forget about it. Universe, come on, go on. You guys are just fine without these folks. Look, in fact, how they treat you, how they ignore you, how they're indifferent to you. This is the Esmeralda. This is the forgotten place. And then the one that was birthed and raised here says, I remember it. Jesus, I came from there. Those are my brothers and sisters. And I will expend every ounce of resource that I have on this universal stage. I will spend it. I will spend it for the forgotten corner of the universe to rescue and redeem my people. Hallelujah. Come on, Valencia isn't the first one that came up with this. It was Jesus who said, I was birthed and raised in the deadliest corner of the universe, and I will expend all of heaven's resources to save the people that are there. And he's standing before Pilate, and he says, Pilate, let me tell you the Christmas story. And Pilate, a governor, says, I have never seen somebody act like this. We don't do that on this planet. And Jesus says, no kidding. That's the kingdoms from a different part of the universe. That's who I represent. I'm not coming to take you off of your seat and set up my own seat. I am fixing every nation, language, tongue, and people. We're all in this together. And I will spend my life. Take me, Pilate. I'll spend my life to buy these people back. The forgotten place of the universe. Jesus says, I've been there. I've been there. I've done that. And I died there. And I'm going to buy it back. That's the Christmas story. And so while we wave flags, it's the one I picked for the prayer. While we wave flags that are red and yellow and black and blue and green. The Christian, the individual Christian of every nation and language and people needs to wave the white flag. What does white represent? It represents truth. It represents purity and innocence. And it represents humility. And it represents perfection. And if you take white and you stick it on a pole, it represents surrender. And Jesus said to Pilate, I'm going to bear witness of the truth. Would you stick me on a pole? I'm going to be the epitome, the representation of surrender. And so they took Jesus, truth. He is the Word, says John. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus said, I am the truth. And now, Pilate, let them put me on a pole, because when I'm lifted up, through my surrender and my representation, I will draw all men and women of every nation, language, tribe, and people. I will draw them to myself. I'll buy them back, Pilate. That's the truth. And Pilate couldn't handle it. Because that's not how we operate on this planet, not at least as of late. But I wonder if this Christmas, people of every nation, language, tribe, and people would be willing to embrace the truth stuck on a pole. Jesus in surrender. What does it mean when you wave a white flag? It means you are giving up. And there's something in your life, maybe it's a mentality, maybe it's an addiction, maybe it's a pain, maybe it's a memory, maybe it's something that you are struggling with today. And you say, Jesus, I want to surrender this. And in surrendering this, it's a two-way message. I am giving it to you, and I am getting you. I am giving this up, but I am taking you in. I am taking the truth that was lifted up on a pole. And so while we all wave flags from every corner of this globe, it's fine. But the Christian, the one surrendered to Jesus, waves a different flag.